Guys, welcome to another live stream from the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. Today we are going to respond to a video by the Rommates that is called Let's Talk About Expectations versus Reality. And in this one, they're basically talking about compatibility between men and women, but I'm going to have a bit clearer spin on it towards accomplishing your dreams and goals. Because, I mean, they're talking about, you'll see what they're talking about. The questions that he asks, I would have asked them a bit differently. And also, this was the best guy out of all of the people, from my understanding, on this podcast. Okay, so they're calling in and he's asking them questions about, what their expectations are and what the reality is of, if they're progressing towards their journey and towards their goals. And this guy's the best guy, which means I wish he would have asked me those questions, to be honest. You'll understand what I mean. Let's get right into it.
Yeah, hello, is this Spencer?
Yes, this is.
How's it going, man? It's Hafiz.
What's going on, Hafiz?
Doing well, my guy, doing well. So my question to you is, let's talk expectations, reality. Would you say your expectations are high, healthy, or low?
No, I would say my expectations are they lean on the high side.
Lean on the high side. Okay, cool. So how much are you expecting to...
Did you see what I'm saying? He's like, are your expectations low, medium, or high? Like, that should never be something you even ask yourself. Like, you should always have high expectations of what you are going to perform in the future, right? And what you're going to achieve in terms of your dreams and goals. Like, there is no question or debate around that. Now, obviously, people are going to come into this conversation having different expectations, right? That's why he's bringing this up. But for you guys on my channel, please, for goodness sakes, set high expectations for yourself. Because life, the universe, whatever you want to call it, will give to you according to what you say and what you put into it. Okay? Life will give you whatever you want. You just basically have to say that this is what I want, and I'm willing to pay whatever price is needed for me to achieve that thing. Okay? You can get whatever it is that you want. The question is, do you actually want it? Because most people are like, no, man, you don't, I probably can't achieve the things that I want. Well, then you probably don't want those things, okay? Like, the level of your desire is not intense enough. If you truly desire a thing and you put in the work, you pay the price tag to actually get that thing, you will get it.
Make a year.
So, high side.
Lean on the high side. Okay, cool. So how much are you expecting to make a year?
So time frame. So right now I'm probably making like low 50s, but in 2 years I'm expecting to make like 70s, 80s, maybe 90s.
Okay, real quick. So you said right now you're making what?
Low 50s, like 52.
Okay,
53.
cool. And then in 2 years expecting to make how much?
Between like 70 to 90.
Okay, and what do you think, 35, how old are you right now?
24.
So let's say Spencer at 32, wife and kids, how much are you expecting to make at that age?
30, early 30s, 100 plus, maybe
Okay.
120.
Okay, cool. And what do you do for a living?
So I'm a broker for a financial institution.
Okay, cool. Broker. You went to school for that?
Yeah, I got a bachelor's in finance.
Okay, cool.
Interesting, eh? Okay, let's talk about that for a second. This guy is a financial broker. He works for a financial firm. He's making low 50s, okay, $50,000 per year. And he's expecting to make maybe 70 or 80,000 in the next couple of years. He's 24 years old. He says by the time he's 30, early 30s, so we're talking 6-8 years from now, he plans on making 100 plus. That's the scope of his thinking. I wish he had me as a coach. What I would tell him is, okay, you went to college. Great. You didn't need to, but okay, it's good. I mean, you've got a nice salary and all that stuff. Now, let's figure out a way to get you out of that job as fast as flippin' possible, okay? Making 50 a year is good, but wait, like, expecting to have to work at a job, okay, financial broker, usually you work quite a lot there. It's like 40 to 50 to 60 hours a week for that one firm, okay? The more they pay you, the more they want to suck out of you, okay? This is why very often I recommend low-paid, menial task jobs, just so that you can plan your exit strategy and develop that desire in you to become a true business owner, an entrepreneur. This guy has it so comfortable, especially if he listens to Hafiz's advice. Not that Hafiz always gives bad advice, but when it comes to expectations versus reality in this particular show, I'm heavily disappointed when it comes to income talk. And I've mentioned this before about the roommates because of that one time where he had a poll in his community on his channel. And he was asking how much, should be okay to strive for in terms of an income in, during your lifetime in a year. Do you get what I'm saying? I was looking at that and I'm like, 100K was the maximum. It didn't even say 100K a year plus. Do you get what I'm saying? This guy, literally a financial broker, he's a smart guy, but he's going to get stuck in that job because he thinks that it's a good job and that it's a good income. It's not. It stinks. Why? Because we know that there are teenagers, people in their early 20s, that are making way more living remotely, having an e-commerce business or a YouTube channel or whatever else they've got going on in terms of a business, and they're free. They literally have no one that they're working for. They choose their own schedule, and they can choose to put in however much time they want in their business. They can make as much money as they want, literally, because there is no limit when you're becoming a business owner. That's the thing, that's the part that I'm so disappointed in many ways by the roommates for not speaking more about. Entrepreneurship. They are entrepreneurs. Why aren't they encouraging people to become entrepreneurs after they've gone through the discipline, time phase of attaining discipline through having 3 jobs, as I recommend? They never talk about that. So personally, what I'd recommend to this guy who's a financial broker, I'd probably tell him, is there any way that you could work harder? To put more effort. He probably has discipline already. So what I would expect from him is can you actually go on SR and be voluntary celibate? That's the number one thing I tell him. Okay, let's see how long you can go on SR. And let's give it a couple of weeks to see if you can actually build a business with discipline on the side of the job that you've got right now. Most guys don't. Most guys don't have capacity for that. So I'd rather say, okay, work 80 hours a week. I want you to push yourself in a job for 80 hours a week and then let it be so painful. I want it to be painful and never ever give up on the 80-hour work week, and then put in the plan for the exit strategy. You need an exit strategy, and an exit strategy fast. The only way you're going to do that is by immersing yourself in the 80-hour work week, either in that one job if he's able and allowed to do so, and if he's not, he should be getting a job at McDonald's or anything else that fits well with his job so that he works 80 hours a week. He absolutely hates his life. Fantastic. It's only temporary. So that he needs to develop an exit strategy and build a business on the side, and the fire is building up in him. I can't live this way, working 80 hours for a boss, 80 hours for a boss, 80 hours for a boss, 80 hours for a boss. You absolutely hate your life. Awesome. That desire will start burning, man. It'll start taking in you. It'll be you'll begin to get that as long as you don't quit. As long as you keep going on the 80-hour work week. Most people quit, so they never get that burning fire and desire to get and develop that exit strategy that I always talk about. So that's what I'd recommend to that guy. Guess what? If he had coaching, he'd be out of his job in the next 12 to 24 months with coaching. If he doesn't have coaching, but he just simply follows all of the stuff that I teach on my channel, probably it'd take him 4 to 5 years, maybe, but he'd be free, making 100K a year free, passive income, or in a business that is continual income to him and his family. And then he has an endless limit, there's no limit to how much he can make at 30. Or, oh no, he'll be 28, 29, because I said 4 to 5 years. Expectations that I put on people are just a little bit different than the norm. You can, like Patrick Bet-David, when he talked to Hafiz, he told him any guy who is business-minded, business-oriented, or who's a hard worker and who wants to get ahead in life, he should have $100 million by the time he's 40 years old. And Hafiz is like, oh. And Patrick Bet-David is like, he had a completely stern face. Like, I'm serious. Like, $100 million in net worth by the time he's 40. Like, for someone who is ambitious and actually puts in the work to make it happen, there is no excuse to not have that by the time you're 40 if, and I have a huge if, and that one is SR and being voluntary celibate until you've at least gotten your $1 million. Like, maybe before then, okay, if you've got coaching and you're actually part of the 3 in Love movement on my other channel, the Women of High Value channel, all that stuff, like, but $1 million actually sounds quite nice, okay? Because there's an exponential growth curve that you get, then you can actually, have that family that you want. Maybe you'll start the process. Anyway, we're not going to talk about dating as such in this one, but let's keep hearing what he tells Spencer.
So, finance. How many hours you usually work a week?
Between 40 to maybe 45.
Okay, are you gonna bump that up?
I can.
You can or can't?
I can.
Okay. All right. So
he needs to. You see him? Oh my gosh, 40 to 45. It's like so non-ambitious. But fortunately, he's asking at least that. That's a really good question from Hafiz. Can you bump it up? He's like, I can. Awesome. I like Spencer's attitude.
In regards to women, what kind of girls are you looking for? You want average-looking girls? You want beautiful? You want models? Like, what are you looking for?
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Okay, so like on a scale of 1 to 10, what are they looking like?
Like an 8.
Okay, cool. All right. And my question is like, in regards to shots, how many shots do you think you need to take before you're gonna get that beautiful 8?
100.
100? Are you?
I say 100, so like 1 to 200.
1 to 200. Okay. Okay, so what has life been? What has reality been like for you right now?
So in terms of like financially, career, or women?
No, so I know career. So career at 50,000. So my question is, do you feel as though that beautiful woman? Do you feel as though you deserve her right now the way you are?
No, not exactly right now.
Okay.
Why not?
Why not? Why do you say not right now?
Too young, don't make enough money to support like an entire family just yet. I mean, I could, but I'd be pushing it, but just not quite yet. I'm 24.
Okay. So what do you do?
And I don't think I have the wisdom either.
You don't have the what?
I don't have the wisdom either. Okay,
cool.
Quite yet.
Yeah, I like it.
You see where this becomes messed up? We're confusing things right now. Well, what are your goals? Well, I want to make 100K, right? In the next 6 years. And then obviously this is part of his episode and he's asking everyone this question because he's trying to make men and women compatible, in terms of expectations and reality. But it's just so wrong. Like, man, it is diversification galore, man. Like, women, once you emotionally involve them into your life, you understand that you literally connect yourself to their reproductive cycle. Women have a reproductive cycle that men don't have, right? That reproductive cycle is period, right? And then normal week, and then their horny period, and then their PMS, and then their period, okay? This is a monthly cycle. Every woman has one, okay? Even women, when they're past menopause, has one. Obviously, the period's not going to be there, but she's got a cycle, trust me. Okay, what happens? You get a girlfriend, you start dating. He's now talking about 100 to 200 shots and trying to find his girl in monogamy. Nice. and he expects to take those 100 to 200 shots. When is he going to take those? He's going to take them before he's established his financial foundation? I sure hope not. Hafiz is probably, that's kind of what he recommends people to do. He's like, in a different episode, if it's not this one, he tells them literally, like, I don't want people to, like, put off things when, just because you don't have that much money, you should still be dating and trying to find women and level up in every area of life. Priorities, Hafiz. Priorities. If you prioritize well, young men, okay, you can super speed each process so much faster than you could ever believe. Personal development is a team sport, okay? What do you lack in order for you to make your personal development a team sport? And I'm not talking about being on a team with a girl. I'm talking about a team sport in terms of hiring people to help you to get what you want. You need money, okay? That's the number one first thing. You shouldn't be thinking about anything else. Spencer is right on track when he says, I don't think I'm ready for a girl yet. And I need to set up my financial foundation better. I need to prepare more. I'm not wise enough yet. Good. Spencer's on track. Hafiz is completely off track when he starts recommending dating. Don't do it. Be voluntary celibate for a long time. At least the next 2 years while you build up your 100K, 200K net worth, in my opinion.
So, are you in the gym?
Yeah, I'm in the gym. I've been in the gym since 2015.
Okay. How much you weigh?
I'm like maybe 215, 220.
How tall are you?
6'3".
Okay. Scale of 1 to 10, what kind of shape are you in?
I'm probably an 8. I've been working out for a while.
Okay, so
why does this even matter? Like, he's talking about the gym. Okay, I understand that you've got to look good for a woman. But that if you don't have 100K net worth or 200K net worth, like, yes, going to the gym for maintenance is fine. But man, do you know how fast you can get results if you have a personal trainer who actually cares about your results and who actually focuses on your meal plans? Like, making sure that you actually stick to a meal plan, etc., etc. Like, do you know how fast you can get results? I saw this one dude from, I think he's from Dubai. He's a cool guy. I forgot his name. But anyway, he's on Instagram and he was basically showing his body 6 months prior to having signed up with a personal trainer who took him seriously. And then 6 months later, he was basically overweight 6 months prior. And then after those 6 months of two a days, okay, 2 exercise routines per day, like cardio in the morning and then the weights at night, and having a personal trainer that entire time, like, he had a massive six-pack. He looked fantastic, right? From an attraction standpoint for his wife, because that guy's married. But bro, that's what you can get if you've got the money. If you don't have the money, then you've got to go to the gym on your own and be in the gym for 6 years. Like this dude is, he's probably looking good after 6 years in the gym, but there's a priority thing to it. So first, the financials, get yourself a success coach, a life coach that gets your foundation right, gets your, addictions out of the way and your issues and your problems and your trauma and whatever you have, and start actually having an accountability to move towards your dreams and goals in terms of work ethic and being willing to learn. Then once you've actually built some financial foundation and you have a business now, because your exit strategy is the next step, you get your exit strategy, you actually replace the incomes that you've got with your business. You're free now, which means that you've got a business and you've got passive income. You have your whole schedule open. Now we can talk about getting a personal trainer, getting a martial arts trainer, getting guns, training and all that stuff. And then you can move forward towards dating. Now you maybe get a dating coach if your success coach is not very good at dating. Okay, then you get a dating coach to help you to move towards the women in your life. I'd recommend me, like literally as a coach, I'm full package. There are some things that just simply don't know anything about, and I'll let you know about that during coaching. But the big things, okay, in terms of setting you up, foundationally to make a lot of money throughout your life, and in terms of prioritization, and in terms of women and relationships, I'm your guy. Like, there's no one better at this game than me, literally. Like, I'm better than Tony Robbins when it comes to relationships. Trust me. At least, and if you don't, okay, check out the Women of High Value channel, link down below. If you understand the things that I teach you, you'll massively move forward to getting 3 women, not just 1, 3 at the same time, and keeping them for life. Because you're an awesome man who's committed for life. That's what we want to go for. Setting that up when you don't have money, not a very good idea. Going to the gym massively on your own when you haven't built up anything, squat, you're poor, is the worst prioritization anyone could give anyone. Just saying.
To me, I like it. I like everything. I like I feel like you have healthy expectations. There's nothing wrong with wanting beautiful women. Every man should, if that's what you desire.
Every man desires a beautiful woman. Like, of course.
I like.
But increase your expectations a bit. 3 beautiful women is even better than 1, right? And then some guys will say, well, 4 or 5 or 8 will be even better. Well, then you don't understand female nature, because they can only function with 2 other women. Okay, so you begin to go further than that, then you're blowing up the entire thing. Don't do that. Understand female nature, and you'll know that 3 is the perfect number.
I like how you have a more marathon mentality, because I think it's important for a guy to have that long-term marathon mentality to where he's looking at himself and saying, okay, I'm not where I need to be to get what I want. So I feel like a lot of times the frustration that men have is that they're expecting something today when they're not where they need to be. So in regards to the salary that you desire, the women that you desire, the lifestyle that you desire, at what age do you feel like you should be having what you want? At what age?
I think 30. By then, I should be good to go.
At 30?
So, like I said, I work around investments all day. Right now, I'm just building that nest egg to begin my own journey with investing.
Okay. So are you comfortable with, in the meantime, are you comfortable in the meantime to be able to, I guess a question I want to know is, so what are you doing in regards to dating in the meantime? Are you still dating, or are you just putting that on pause until you get to exactly where you need to be?
Yeah, so I'm definitely out there meeting and dating.
No, don't do that. You're messing up the prioritization.
Using all the apps, meeting them out when I go out. Yeah, so I'm definitely out there meeting and dating, using all the apps, meeting them out when I go out. But I'm not like super hard pressed.
Say that last sentence again.
I said I'm out there dating and whatnot, but I'm not super hard pressed, like looking for a wife right now.
Okay,
right?
Okay, cool. You know what? I like your mentality, Spencer, because I think you're in a good space.
Did you notice what he said? I'm not really looking hard. Then why on earth are you even looking? Like, give everything you've got to everything you do. If you're actually, eventually once you're going to go through the dating process, what I recommend, guys, as part, get the coaching, okay, to understand female nature properly. But what you'll need to do during that time is to meet a lot of girls, like a lot, okay? We don't, as a high value man never ever sleeps with a woman he's not committed to for life. Ever, okay? No exception to the rule. You don't sleep with anyone that you're not committed to for life. Don't do it. If you understand that, then what on earth is the point of meeting women before you're actually ready to settle down? There's no point whatsoever. So once you are ready, then we can massively speed up the process of meeting many girls every day until you begin to kind of see some, wow, I like this group of 3, okay? But that's for later, not now. Build up your financial foundation, build up your understanding of female nature without dating them and without emotionally involving anyone, and set up that foundation, that mindset that you can get everything you want out of life. You just need to know how, and know, how to think really is the biggest thing. Think and grow rich, right? Think and become abundant. Think and get everything you want. Because it's all in your head. It's all in your mind. And you just need someone who can guide you along that path.
I think, you're graduating school, you're having a good salary, especially for a man your age. I think you're in a really good spot. I like where you're going. I think for me, especially, with a guy, from my perspective for you, I think that the only thing I would definitely be a little cautious of is I don't want you to ever feel as though, not saying you do so, but to feel as though the money will qualify you for a person. So I understand that as a man, you definitely want to be in a position where you provide for your family. I love that. I think it's a beautiful thing. But I think sometimes, not saying you have this mentality, I'm just saying some guys in general, they have that mentality where they feel as though until I make this much money, I won't be good for this kind of person that I want. And then you define your identity too much on your money. And so that's my only thing I would probably be cautious of.
Very important point. Let's talk about that, shall we? Okay, so are the things that I'm saying about money, is that like, oh, you're identifying yourself too much with your money, and because of that, like, why do you do that? You should be able to date and feel worthy of someone special, blah, 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 without having that financial foundation. Spencer was right when he said, I'm not financially ready. Hafiz is wrong when he tells guys that they should not think this way. Like, because, and I'll tell you why. Men very often do not have the financials when they meet the women that they want to be with. They literally do not. How do I know? Me, okay? I met the woman that I wanted, and I was told that money is not important in terms of, once you start settling down. Don't have that as a priority. It's actually better if you are poor together and build up a life together. Bull crap. Like, it's the worst advice I've ever received. Do you know that what happens when you get married? I know because I've been married for 12 years. I got 3 kids. If you build up a business first, you are at a massive advantage. Like, we're talking 20 years in advance of those that actually settle down quite early and get a family before any financial foundation is established. Women require money, especially if you need 3, right? Kids are way more costly than you think, okay? Like, seriously. It's irresponsible for Hafiz to even talk about not having a financial foundation in place and having a certain number before you feel that you're ready to actually go out there and meet people. He's so wrong about this. He's not married, okay? I am. I know what happened. And basically, this is what's explained in chapter 11 in Think and Grow Rich, when Napoleon Hill says that, it's interesting, but it is so many people, so many men who become massively successful never do so after the age of 40. And it was such a substantial amount of guys who struggled financially, between the years of 20 to 40 years old. And then once they turned 40, it's just something happened where they just got exponential growth in their businesses, and just so much money came along that they were just like, where have all this money been all these years? Like, it's ridiculous. The reason why, you know what it is? During that time was the Great Depression, okay, when Napoleon Hill wrote that book. And guys were being told by religion, by their parents, by everyone in society, get married young. Why? Because they couldn't have premarital sex, right? So they were told that, and so they did. And that was the norm back then. And guess what they did right away? They had kids. And when you have kids, you're putting yourself in a predicament of having to spend money on your wife, okay, and on kids before you even started building a business. They need money, your business requires money, and you're poor, and you have to make difficult decisions. You can't reinvest in your business very well. You're needy and desperate because you got a wife and kids at home, and so people don't take you seriously, and the more needy and desperate you are, people basically kind of are repelled against from you for buying your product or services. It becomes so messed up, man. Like, if you manage to live voluntary celibately right now, just for a time, and live on SR, semen retention, just for a time. Like you're living without any reproductive cycle from a woman type thing of intense emotions, all that crap. You're living just you, zen, moving massively in the direction of your dreams and goals, prioritizing the right things first. I'm so passionate about this because like this is what put me back so many years. You know, people complain so much like, if you know so much about all this, how come you're not a multi-millionaire, Joseph? This is why. My mess is my message, man. I literally started a business at 20 years old. I've had a business in operation ever since. I've never quit on being an entrepreneur. I was just told a bunch of crap from religion, from half successful people, from people with decent, really good salaries, okay? How to live my life. But then the moment I started listening to entrepreneurs, things began to change a little bit at a time, but because I had a wife and 3 kids, I'm not putting the excuse on them, okay? There are guys out there who's managed to build massive things while still having a wife and kids. However, if they were poor at that time when they started out, they must have neglected them big time and put their kids in school, which we never did, okay? So it's just a different scenario, different picture. But I'm telling you, you want to get everything in life you want, you'll have to prioritize. Prioritize.
For you is, as you're in that field with a lot of people making a lot of money, I don't want you to tie your identity and value up with making money. Obviously, strive for more, but that's the only, word of caution I would give a guy like you to be aware of that.
Okay, and for me to sort of break it down a little bit more, I only want to make that much because, I wouldn't want my wife to work. I want her, to raise the kids. I don't want my kids to go to daycare, none of that.
I love it. I love it.
Did you hear what he said? He wants to make that much because he doesn't want his wife to work so that the kids don't have to go to daycare. Like, Spencer's right. Hafiz is wrong.
And I think to me, it's an amazing thing. I think for me, it's what's going on is that you are having healthy expectations about what you want. Like, I know a lot of guys, they'll be like, oh, I want a stay-at-home wife, right? But then they're expecting her to stay at home when he's making $50,000 a year. That's gonna be rough for her. So I love that. I think you're in a really good spot, man. I'm excited. Where do you live at again?
I'm in ATL.
Cool, man. Hope you're enjoying life out there. You take care. Okay, brother?
Thank you, Peace, and love your channel.
No problem. I like it. No, I like it. 713.
So anyway, that's how he ends. That's how I'm gonna end as well. I hope you guys got a lot out of this video and understand a little bit more about my perspectives, and I'm serious about you being able to get whatever it is that you want. One small step at a time. Hire a coach. Get your foundation right. Get your thinking right. And let's make it happen. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are awesome. I'll see you in the next one.